Good evening everybody and welcome back to One Hub Racing. This is the Pinnacle Tier and the very first season, the very first round of the season I should say. Wow, we're already 30 seconds into the season and I've already got it wrong. Anyway, my name is Kieran McGinley and joining me in the commentary box for this season is Jamie Metcalf. Jamie, how are you tonight?
Yeah, I'm very good, yeah. Obviously, new season, very excited to be here.
Well, we've got a lot to get underway. Of course, if you're just joining us for the first time, if you missed our pre-season race, it was a fantastic one around Belgium. Obviously, that late safety car towards the end of that race really spiced things up, and it allowed that photo finish. If you haven't seen it, I put it on my Twitter account. Side by side, by a nose, Legend won it ahead of Leon. And of course, pre-season means that, well, anything could really happen. Lots of people are going to be throwing their weight around. Lots of people might just be conservative and seeing how the rest of the field will play out. Jamie, you've been through pre-season. Just how much of a step up is it from pre-season to the very first round? It's competitive. Points are on offer. How does the attitude change?
Yeah, obviously it's a totally different ball game now. You're in the main part of the season. Obviously, points, it's all competitive now. If you make one mistake, you're already behind the 8 ball. So these drivers, they'll be wanting to have a good start as I'll try and get our first member into the party chat.
Absolutely. If you're new to this season, well, new to our season now, is our lobby walks. We're unleashing our inner Martin Brundle here. We're going to try and get a couple of drivers in before the race starts and try and have a chat with them. When they come through, I'll try and introduce them if I can keep up. And obviously we can have a chat to the drivers. Make sure if you've got any questions to anyone who comes in, maybe on the off chance they might, just leave it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Your question could be used live on air, so make sure you're asking those questions. I wonder who Jamie's going to try and grab first. He's good at grabbing some drivers. We saw that last week in pre-season. But Jamie, just before we have some drivers in, or whilst we wait for some drivers to come in, obviously we've seen some of the pace from pre-season, we've seen some of the drivers and what they're going to be like in Belgium at least. Who do you think is going to have the upper hand coming into Australia?
You have to say, the top 3 last week, Westy, Leon and Legend, really showed some really competitive form, and them guys have to be the favourite tonight. But there are some guys who disappointed last week. We've had a lot of Flavel recently, but he didn't really show up last week. What can he do this week?
Yeah, he did have a lot of trouble in Belgium last time around. The rain really caught him out and he lost it at Blanchimont. And obviously that really summed up what a day it was. It poured down and it just wasn't to be for Ollie. But of course that is pre-season. We come to the very first round of this season and it's a new slate. It's a clean slate for all the drivers there, and they'll be able to, well, basically have a good chance of getting some good points on the board. Now, of course, last season, season 13, we did have the joint constructors, so every tier scored points for their team. So Red Bull could be doing really well in Prestige, but it could be Sauber leading the way at Podium. Either way though, those points will be added together as an aggregate across all 4 tiers. This season though, we're back to each tier is its own championship. So it's going to be really interesting to see whether Mercedes have picked the right drivers. It's going to be interesting to see if there are any dark horses among the grid. Speaking of which, Jamie, dark horses, fan favourites, who do you think you're going to see is filling those roles this season?
I think the fan favourites, maybe somebody like Dainstar, who's been around the season for a long time. He had a very difficult season last season and he's been a bit down in the dumps recently about his pace. But I think last week he did show some signs of flashes of form, but obviously he had them 2 big crashes. So Dainstar's a popular driver in the one hub community and he's a previous champion of season 12. In fact, he got a podium here last time he raced around here, so I think he should be popular. In terms of dark horses, somebody like, I fancy somebody like, let's say, I think Raikkonen could be a dark horse this season. He had a really good season last season. He didn't turn up last week, and he had a few race wins last season, and with his main competitors not in his tier anymore, I think Raikkonen could really fancy a shot at this title.
And if you're calling him a dark horse, why don't we try and get him into the lobby walk? Let's see if we can have a chat with him. Aha! First drive. We've pulled him off here. Dainstar joins us in the commentary box. Dainstar, how are you tonight? Yeah, well, hopefully your voice settings are all good so we can actually hear you. Just a quick couple of questions, Danestar. We'll keep it short and sweet. Jamie's called you one of the fan favourites. You're going to have all the support behind you. What are your expectations for this season? Danestar, we can't hear you. Yeah, we can't hear you. No, voice settings. Quickly change it. It's alright. First race of the season will be alright. Yeah, so just once you've got your party settings done, we'll have a proper chat with you. But yeah, once you've done that, just talk us through your season expectations. If you didn't quite hear that, he said to get quicker at the game. That's a good expectation, I have to say. But yeah, talk us through the rest of it, Danestar, once you're ready.
I think it should be good now. It should be good now.
Hope so.
What was the question again?
What expectations for season? You said you want to get quicker at the game. Any other expectations, like position-wise?
Position-wise, I want to fight for the championship. Definitely want to be in the top 5 and at the front. That's where we all want to be. So yeah, I think I want to be at the front of the season, fighting for the championship.
Fighting for the championship.
Yeah, obviously, last season you were in the prestige team. You got the Pinnacle Tier. A lot was expected of last season. You had a disappointing season last season. What do you think you've learnt from that season? Do you think you might have dropped it a pace, but do you think you'll be a bit more consistent this season?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to be more consistent. The season last time out was involved in quite a bit of incidents, so I want to try and cut down on them and keep it consistent and clean. And do well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Danestar. Thank you for joining us on the very first grid walk of the full season. Good luck in tonight's race, and hopefully you can get some good points on the board.
Thanks. See ya.
Yeah, fan favourite, as nominated there by JB himself. Obviously, wants to get quicker. Championship contender, could he be?
Yeah, I think obviously it's been a long season. I think he might be wanting to do some damage limitation early on. Maybe take a bit of advantage of a bit of carnage, because of Australia as a race grid tends to see a lot of DNFs, because obviously you've got that turn 11-12 complex which is lethal on this game. The curbs on it are lethal. So yeah, if he takes advantage of that and survives and gets a few points, it just builds them points up, and then maybe these season breaks may help him practice the game a bit more with a bit less pressure, and that might help him develop as I'll get our next guy in.
Yeah, and just whilst you do that, Jamie, obviously Mercedes have put a lot of faith into Danestar. Could he be the one that takes them and helps them claim that much needed Constructors' Championship? They've been missing it for a while.
Yeah, it could be very much. Yeah, obviously he's raced a few teams in the past. He won a Constructors' Championship Red Bull in season 12, so he's done the switch, and yes, he'd be fancying his chances, I think. I'm sorry, my friend's is going a bit slow, so there we go.
Always the problem, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I'm anticipating who you're going to bring in next, Jamie, who you're going to pull aside. But whilst you do that, obviously Williams have got themselves quite a strong lineup now, considering they've been really high up in previous seasons at One Hub. They've had a little bit of a dip in form recently, but here in Pinnacle, they've got a really strong lineup of Leon and Praga.
Yeah, they have really. Obviously, that's one. My view, that's one of the favourites for the Constructors' Championship. Obviously, they were both up there last week. Prague, he had a bit of a disappointing end, and I think one of his was in the stewards, and I think he picked up a penalty. I think he had a bit of damage at the end. It was his own them dead tyres, which was never a good thing to be on. Obviously, the safety car coming out, and yeah, I think he'll be hoping to make amends this week.
One of those Williams drivers joins us now, Leon. Obviously, pre-season was a bit exciting with that late safety car losing out by 0.04 of a second. Leon, welcome to the lobby walk, the first one of the official season. Just talk us through some expectations. Pre-season to the first round of the season. How's your mindset doing after that performance last week?
Well, last week everyone knows what happened. I will say this: the safety car did bring me into play. Probably having a wet setup didn't help at the start of the race, but yeah, losing out on a race win by half a tenth, or it was just less, was a tad annoying, but it was only pre-season and there wasn't that many drivers as such and not that many were near the top. My expectations are probably going to be the same as last week, and I'm just probably going to aim for a podium.
So aiming for a podium, you've got yourselves a team with Williams, who are, they've had a bit of history in one hub on the lowdown quite recently, but Jamie and I were just discussing, Williams probably have one of the strongest lineups on the grid. Surely for Williams, the target is now to try and grab that Constructors' Championship.
Yeah, if I can pull off performances like last week, and Praga, I think he was 4th, I can't remember. He was close behind. If we can continuously do that week by week, then after maybe a couple of rounds, we may switch our attention possibly to the Constructors title.
And I'll hand over the mic to Jamie if he's got a question.
Yeah, obviously, Australia is a track that's for overtaking very difficult. So, have you prioritised yourself mainly for qualifying, or do you think the race pace will still be critical?
I think the race pace is probably more critical around here, because qualifying, yeah, everyone's going to go for it. But I think in the race, if they've got kind of a quali setup, they're going to struggle at turn 11 and 12, because that is probably the killer corner. Yeah. You can easily lose it. So my setup is just probably mainly going to be race pace, so I might not be up there in qualifying, but hopefully have a bit of race pace.
Well, thank you.
Right.
Yes, thank you, Leon, for joining us. Good luck in tonight's race, as Jamie said. Look forward to seeing the action out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, as you say there, Leon, confident as well, wants to get podiums, and he agreed with us. Praga was not far away from the podiums either in the pre-season race, and it really reinforces how strong a team Williams could be this season. Do you think they could live up to those expectations?
Yeah, they're my pick for the title this year. I think that pairings look super consistent and super quick, and they'll be around that top 5 a lot this season. And to win a Constructors' Championship, you really need to be in the top 5 a lot of races, because that's where the big points occur.
And I wonder if we could just have time to get one more driver, just one more driver. I wonder who JV's going to pull off to the side. He's good at grabbing drivers by the scruff of the neck and dragging them into the commentary box. He's really good at that. Underestimate him at your peril. One team I want to talk about, obviously, let's have a look, it's Red Bull as well. I mean, they've got Raikkonen and Slater. Obviously, they are the Season 13 combined Constructors' Champions over those 4 tiers. They've got to go about defending that title. They've got Raikkonen and Slater. How about that for a lineup, Jamie? Do you like it?
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. A bit of intel here. Raikkonen did not agree with teammates, so I put them two together. And Raikkonen was sound driver. The reason why I put Slater in the Red Bull is because he's an experienced driver in the league. He's a good driver. We know how consistent he is. He got his first podium last season. I think this season he'll be looking to maybe get some more podiums in the back of his CV, and maybe a Constructors' title, which will be very nice indeed. I think we've had a rejection from that driver there, so we'll try and get the one in.
Well, just to talk about Slater just a little bit more, do you think the jump up to Red Bull could be a little bit of pressure on him?
Yeah, I think, obviously there's a bit more expectation there, because he raced with Haas last season, I believe, so it is a bit of a jump, but I have every faith in him. I think he'll do a solid job, and Raikkonen's got himself a good team at there, even if he didn't necessarily pick him.
Well, I'm wondering if we've got time to get that one more driver in. I have no idea. We've got 15 drivers so far in the lobby. Let's just run you through some of the orders right now in terms of the driver lineup. So Dainstar is in the Mercedes right now. Looks like he's the only one so far, with about a minute to go before we start the lobby. It's Westy and Coleman. We do have Raikkonen in the chat there. Raikkonen there. Let's just find him. He's in the Red Bull there, and driver number 1. We're just talking about how it's an interesting lineup for Red Bull this season. Obviously Season 13 defending Constructors title. That must be a little bit of pressure on your shoulders, Raikkonen. Do you think you can take it?
To be honest, no, not really. I just don't really, I'm not really trying to prove anything to anyone. I'm just gonna go out there, run my race. I haven't played this game in about 2 months, and I put in no practice to today, so I'm not really expecting any more than a DNF, so anything better than that will do.
That's filling the team full of confidence right now.
Nah, I'm joking, but I'll try my best and see what I can take from today. Obviously, I didn't really practice, so I don't know what I can do, but I'll try my best and see.
And just
You had a good season last season.
Oh, you go ahead, Jamie. I was going to say last.
Oh yeah,
question.
you had a good season. You had a good season last season. You had 2 race wins and a couple of podiums, and you were. If it was the same construction as this season, you'd won the construction title quite comfortably. So obviously your teammate's not racing anymore. Did you and your previous teammate Dartbot didn't get on really well? And obviously this teammate, you got put together like forcefully. So I'm guessing it's a bit of a different relationship you two have now.
Yeah, I can't lie, I do miss Jordan. He is a good teammate. I had a good bonding with him. I enjoyed racing with him because he's quick and he's just kind of what you want in a teammate, really. So I don't know. I'll see how I do this season with my new teammate. Don't really know much of him. Never really talked to him, but I'll see how we get on, I guess.
Without going away, so I'll leave you. I don't know if Kim's got a quick question before we go to qualifying or.
Well, I think we're just about to start readying up, so I'll leave her alone, Raikkonen, to get you into your car. But good luck today, and hopefully it's a good one.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Eminence of the actual Raikkonen, to say the least. You know, I haven't put any practice in. It's, I'll just see how it goes. So, got to be honest with you, doesn't fill the team with much confidence heading into tonight's race.
No, obviously not, and obviously it's one of the more difficult tracks because obviously it's quite easy to lose a wing, lose a wheel around here. So yeah, I think there's a bit of poker going on there. I don't think he's quite telling the whole truth. I think I expect to do well. Maybe in qualifying, maybe in the race he might drop back, but I think he'll be up there.
Well, we're about to find out because we're now heading into the first qualifying of a brand new season here on F1 2019, and I'm looking forward to this. Oh no, that whole 15. Oh, for goodness sake, Jamie. Well, it's first race of the season nerves, that's all. That's all it could be. But if you are in a car, then fantastic. But you'll have to retire straight away.
Good.
Oh, dear. It's all right. It's first race of the season. These things are bound to happen. Ah, well. Anyway, welcome along to Season 14 and the Melbourne track in Australia. First round of the season, of course. It's been pretty much the staple of the calendar to have the first race of the season here in Melbourne, and I'm very glad you've joined us for tonight's race here in the Pinnacle Tier. The Pinnacle Tier is mine once again, and we have 16 drivers here in tonight's, well, actually 15 drivers once Jamie leaves that Mercedes. Ah, well. Anyway, we have qualifying underway then. You could do a weather report. That's very true. What's the weather supposed to be like, Jamie?
I've button in. Sunny qualifying and a dry race. It's going to be overcast and it'll get sunny at the end. So it's not even putting in there.
Oh, you're absolutely fine about that. Yeah, go for it. But yeah, Jamie's with the Mercedes crew. How are they looking down there, Jamie?
Well, they're looking pretty calm. Obviously, they've only got the one driver today, so yeah. I'll leave and come back. So hopefully that will clear that issue.
Well, I don't know actually, but anyway, Asahina is the first person out on track for a new qualifying in a new car, and that's great scenery there. Those tents going by, I have to say. We'll flip cameras any moment now, as I'm assuming Asahina's going to come through turn 3. There he is through turn 4 in the Renault there, and well, Asahina's been one-word answer when he came into the drivers' pre-race conference, and obviously, one-word answers are a pet peeve of mine when you go to interview someone. However, it looked like he had the confidence going into this race, but we'll have to wait and see as he's out there on a set of hard tyres. Also out on track, Raikkonen, legend, who won the pre-season race in Belgium last week. Danestar, Coleman, Flavel and Albrecht are all out on circuit right now, making their way through the circuit, through the gears, and getting their cars ready. We're going to ride on board with a lap around Melbourne with Asahina once he gets down towards that start-finish line, heading his way now into... He is on the hard tyre, but I think this is just going to be a banker lap. you know, it's going to be an idea to see what he's going to be like out there, what sort of pace he has, whether he's got the right setup on as well. As he makes his way through the final couple of corners and around that long final corner, very important to get the acceleration point there. Very easy to lose traction through that long right-hander. Coming across the start-finish line and down towards turn 1 for the very first time, braking hard there. Turn 1 and can be a little bit messy, especially if you try and carry too much speed through there. Through turn 2, which is flat out, and all the way now down towards turn 3 with that DRS wide open, braking just after the 100-meter board. Nice turn in there from Asahina as we make our way through turn 4. Watch out for the curb on the exit. Very easy to lose the back end. Then we're heading through turn 5 now. Watch out for that curb on the exit of turn 5. Very easy to spin up the rear tyres as we now make our way towards turn 6, then through turn 7, and along the right-hander here of turn number 8, flat out now on our way onto the entrance of turn 9. 90-degree corner almost, followed by a long sweeping left-hander of turn 10. This next left-hander, this slight kick here, doesn't actually count as a corner. It's flat out through here, and then it's towards 11 and 12. Where's the braking point? Just at the wall there. You saw how close Asahina got there, but along that turn 12 curb, we were talking about that before the stream started. That turn 12 curb could be the deciding factor for some of these drivers as we head out here for the race. But now winding down the rest of the lap through the final couple of corners in towards turn 15 and 16 as Asahina has Cooper ahead of him now through the final corner, which you've got to get the entrance right. The exit will follow suit. He'll have a slight toe as he heads his way down towards the start finish line, and the first lap of a new season is a 1:23.6 on those hard tyres. Coleman there setting a 1:21.1 on the soft tyres. The Racing Point car didn't set a lap time, that's legend there, so invalidated at some point. Danestar 1:22.6, Albrecht 1:31.4, that's not a representative lap time. But we've got Flavel there, 1:20.5 in the McLaren. Haven't spoken much about him before this race, JB, but Flavel here didn't have the greatest pre-season race. He seems on form right now with a 1:20.5.
Yeah, obviously he's disappointed to be in this tier, and I think he wants to prove a point there. And that lap's it's a solid lap so far, but I expect the pole time to be close to maybe a high 19. So I expect that lap time to drop. And obviously Ashino in his lap, it was just a bit of a messy lap. He just had hard tyres. I just don't give enough grip for him. So got another lap though. I think he's coming in the pits now. I think so. I expect him to come on the. I expect most of these cars to come on the soft tyre. As Fletcher's joined his team at the front row.
Yeah, I think it's just a banker lap for now, so that is Westy then going top with a 1:20.4 now in the Ferrari. And Westy was having a really good battle up the top there last time around with Legend. However, that late safety car pretty much changed everything. But he is on top in qualifying right now. Fletcher is in third, 1:20.7. Cooper in fourth with a 1:20.9. Praga there in sixth, 1:21.1. That puts Danestar down to seventh. We've also got Raikkonen out there with that banker lap. Probably the first lap on this new game for him in the Red Bull. But he's made it around 4 a lap. Unknown makes a start on his flying lap now. Actually, he had a flying lap, but it was invalidated because he did set a 1:43. We've got Alex there, who's also had an invalidated lap, currently 16th, but of course yet to set a lap so far. Drivers yet to leave the pit lane are Slater, Leon, Legend, and, well, Jamie, who's joined me in the commentary box now. Forget Jamie's a driver. He's not a driver. That's not a thing. He forgot to press the one button. One job, yeah. Jamie.
Too busy inviting people to the interviews, but hopefully I've left them lobby and spectate. So hopefully my name won't be there for the foundation lap. So because I don't want to do any driving time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, heading down towards turn 1 is going to be a bit of a nightmare if you're both in the commentary box and in the driving seat. Unknown making his way through turns 11 and turn 12, taking that turn 12 curb very nicely there, actually, taking all the risks there as he makes his way through now in towards the third sector, deep into it now as he heads through turn 13, then it's through turn 14, and then it's just the final 2 corners of 15 and 16 to go. Quite a technical track, dependent on the aerodynamics, but Unknown comes back to the pit lane and, well, rather ruins my lap with him there. Alex, though, has set a lap time now. He set a 1:22.0, and that is on a U set of soft tyres at the moment still. With about 11.5 minutes to go, it is Westy on provisional pole position with a 1:20.4.
Yeah, very tight at the front now. Obviously, the top 3 set by 3/10, but a few big hitters behind haven't set a lap yet. Leon, I expect to do better from Prague as well. I expect him to improve in his second run, and obviously got Dainstar, Raikkonen, Ashian and Jonas and Ulbricht. I really haven't set competitive times yet, so
yeah, Slater's on a flying lap right now as he makes his way towards turn 3 in the Red Bull. We've also got Legend there who's on an out lap very early on, and he's rejoined or joined onto the circuit quite late on to start his first lap. However, it doesn't really matter when you join into the circuit, it's that if you join into the circuit, that's really the only way you can set a fast lap time. Good thing to see though, Jamie, we're not seeing the fast we saw just a Sunday ago in a certain Q3 in a certain Italian track, so it's good to see that the drivers realise they don't need a tow around here.
No, well here you need clear air because it's quite a tight track, a lot of corners, so if you fall on the ground there you're going to get dirty air. There's not really that many long straights. So obviously we know how difficult overtaking is. A slipstream, not really ideal around here, so not hugely shocked. But Bahrain next week, we might see a bit of slipstream in there.
Well, Bahrain's next week, Jamie. We've got to focus on tonight here in Australia for the season opener. You're getting ahead of yourself already. Slater's winding down. Well, Slater's winding down his lap now as we head through turn 15, then through turn 16. Nice bit of control there and grip through that final corner as he makes his way on towards that start-finish line. It's an age away once you leave the final corner. He goes up to 5th place though, 121.0 from Slater there. And puts that Red Bull high up the order, his teammate in 10th place. Meanwhile, Legend there making his way now through turn 4 and then on towards turn 5 and turn 6. Jamie, you've obviously had pre-seasons, you've been there, done that. How important is it to have a good pre-season compared to someone who maybe didn't have the greatest one?
It's more about, obviously pre-season, it's more about confidence really. You want to go into the first grade season on a high. I remember season 12, I was feeling really confident, and around here in Australia I got the front row in qualifying and I actually took the lead at turn 1, but sadly after the race was downhill I got put up the rear turn 2 and that race was done after that, but I still felt really confident because my pace was really strong. And I think these guys, the first race of the season, Australia, it can be a track which can throw a bit of a curveball because it's sort of a quite, not really conventional track. But yeah, these guys, obviously, they want to prove to everybody that they're the man, and West at the moment is proving that. As Legend's got finished lap here, I expect this to be quite high up. Flavel gets pole, what will Legend do? Goes third, 3 tenths down on Flavel.
Yep, so Flavel gets up there. Coleman now, I believe, is now up to 4th place after that recent lap, 120.7 from him. As we've got Praga out there on a flying lap. He's making his way now down towards turn 6. Those yellow flags you're seeing are probably just cars jumping out of the way. Leon has finally joined onto the circuit then. He's currently going through turns 9 and 10. We've got Unknown making his way on the exit of turn 12 and on towards turn 13. DRS, of course, down towards turn 13. An ideal opportunity to try and overtake if you can get turn 12 spot on there. As Unknown makes his way now through the final couple of corners in towards turn 15 and then in towards turn 16, and of course turn 16 relies on the mechanical and the aero grip there as Unknown takes plenty of the curb there, just the right amount, straight as you can down towards the start finish line, and 4th place from the Renault driver with a 120.6.
Yeah, it's tight up at the front now. We've got a top 6 drivers set back by 4 tenths, and a lot of drivers down to the 120s is I believe Leon popped up to 3rd place, so he's showing his hand now. And you have one more runner there, I think they'll come in, stick another set of softs on and go out again. Obviously, no surprise here that all the drivers are going for fast laps of soft tyre, because this is a track where, this is a race track where it's going to be one sort of strategy. I expect most of these guys to start on the softs, and come in around lap 10, lap 9, lap 10, to hard on to the end.
That's a lovely camera angle there we just missed of Fletcher. I really love that camera angle. However, Fletcher was halfway through turn 12. That one where you just low down to the ground, seeing the cars go through there. I love that camera angle. That's the only time I'm ever going to see it now. This whole stream, that was it. So hope you made it last. Making his way through 15 and 16 is Fletcher in the sister McLaren. What can he do then? His teammate's currently on provisional pole position by half a second difference between the 2 teammates, and now the 2 McLarens as it stands have locked out the front row, with Fletcher picking up 2nd place, 120.435. It is very close at the top there. I can't wait for the final 2 minutes. That should be an absolute scrap for that pole position. There's Cooper there, who's got it wrong at turn 12 and has got his whole front wing off and I think that is the first of turn 12's. Well, yeah, he's gone off at turn 13 now. Forgot that wasn't a front wing as well. Yeah, I think that's not the last time we're going to see turn 12 claim a front wing.
No, definitely not. I expect in the race, I expect to see a lot of yellow flags in there, and you never know, we might even see a safety car. I don't know what chance of that though.
Well, I mean, we saw a safety car last time out. No one could explain why. However, we did see the safety car. Alex making his way around at the final corner in the Haas then. Oh, clipping that wall there on the left-hand side. Very, very close there, making his way towards the line. Still goes faster. 121.4 then. As you saw there, his front tyres might be a bit flat spotted there. Maybe that was just the shadows. However, with just over 5 minutes to go, it currently is a McLaren 1-2.
Yeah, Raikkonen pips Alex there during 11th place as Ashiana's just about to finish that, but he's pitted. Yeah, Ollie's the first guy, for Bell's first out come out. That's quite early, I think. That's maybe he wants to get his lap in early, but yeah, he's really a bit of time on the board there because this track it will rubber up, so he wants to get his lap done early. I don't know. It's interesting strategy there for the McLaren driver.
Well, Flavel making his way on his outlet through 11 and 12, and on the run now towards turn 13 with just under 5 minutes to go. There is your current pole sitter, well, provisional pole sitter anyway, making his way now through turn 13 on towards turn 14. That lovely orange and blue lid. He's designed himself to be in that McLaren. Backs off now to try and get himself a little bit more air, try and charge up that ERS as he now makes his way through the final corner and on towards that start-finish straight. One of the only drivers out there who will now start a flying lap, making his way now down towards turn 1. Let's see what Flavel can do then through turn 2. And it looks like he kept that car under control. It wanted to bite on him, but he kept it all under control. Down towards turn 3 now, turning in, down to second gear, and then up through the gears as you make your way through turn 4. Down a gear for Flavel there to get the car turned in. Through turn 5 we go. As you can see, he's really using the track and more there, especially when he gets onto the grass. You can just see him doing a little bit of gardening on the inside of turn 6. Got it a little bit wrong, a little bit sideways out of turn 6 there. However, now on the run down towards turn 9, he's still on this one. We'll see the sector 2 line just before turn 11, so keep an eye on that top right hand side of your screen. Let's see how Ollie's lap is doing so far then as he crosses the sector line. The 10th down at the moment, but he makes his way through 11 and 12. He's still going for this one. DRS wide open on the run now down towards turns 13 and 14. The two right-handers here, which are very easy to overcommit in terms of speed. We've seen Daniel Ricciardo lose the back end completely a couple of years ago in front of his home fans. Flavel meanwhile making his way now in towards the final two corners of 15 and 16, but no, he abandons the lap completely. And that's probably a wise time to do it, but he hasn't got long to get back out there though.
Call those two temps up into sector 2, so he might jump up here.
Let's see what he can do then in the Ferrari as he makes his way now down towards turn 13. And of course these cars relish on the torque there. Pretty much no matter where you are in the gear, there's power to be found, especially with that ERS. Now coming towards 15 and 16. Let's see what Coleman can do in the Ferrari. Round the final corner we go, and on towards the start-finish straight. This will be interesting to see how far Coleman can get himself up the field as he crosses the line. It's P4 for the Ferrari driver, 120.499, just under a 120.5. That puts him just behind his teammate right now. And we should see a flurry of cars now on their outlap. You've got Raikkonen, you've got Alex Dainstar, Asahina, Albrecht as well. You've got Unknown, you've got Westy up there. Drivers still in the pits, Leon, Legend, Cooper, Slater, Praga. You've got Fletcher, who's just joined onto the circuit now at turn 3. So it's going to be a very, very busy Albert Park right now.
Yeah, I'm getting nostalgia. I've got the two McLarens at the front, the Ferrari third, fourth, Williams in fifth.
It is a real blast to the past. The only one that ruins it is Legend at a racing point. I mean, that's not.
Yeah, that was Jordan. Jordan were quite. Yeah, well, it used to be Jordan. He used to be quite decent.
They had their day. They had their day. Well, Legend will be one to watch, of course, winning the pre-season race. Flavel and Fletcher have certainly put down a marker right now. 120.3 from Flavel, 120.4 from Fletcher, 120.4 Westy, 120.4 from Collar, but I see a pattern forming here. Leon 120.5, Legend 120.6, Unknown 120.6. It is so close, even between those top 8 cars, by around 0.6 of a second.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, down at 14th, it's 1.2 seconds, so yeah, it just shows you, like, just tearing. Qualifying nights the usual way of doing there, but it's showing it's working with this grid.
Yeah, it's very simple. Qualifying night just works. It just works. Westy on a flying lap now as he makes his way down towards turn 6, then through 7 and 8, then full throttle through here. Let's see, then sector 2 line is, of course, just after the detection zone, or the detection point for the DRS zone down towards turn 13. As you see, Coleman's retired from the session. He's got no more time to set a lap time. Yeah, Raikkonen retires as well, currently in 11th place. Westy's a 10th up on his best right now, so target here would be 2nd place right now. That's the delta at the moment as he makes his way now down towards turn 13 with that DRS now. Let's see what Westy can do. Can he break the deadlock that the McLarens have set in towards turn 14, on towards 15 and 16 now. Let's see what the Ferrari driver can do. He showed his pace in Belgium in both the dry and the wet. Let's see what he's like this time. A little bit wide on the exit of 16 for my liking, but it could show me up completely. No, he's 700ths down. 3rd place. Fletcher retires from the session, so no time to be set from him. We've got Leon on a flying lap, Flavel on there as well, Praga on a flying lap. There's Leon making his way through turn 12. He's a 10th up right now. Fletcher's binned it then, so no qualifying lap time from him. Leon has a delta here of 2nd place right now. Cooper retires from the session. Let's see how Leon can handle the final couple of corners. Let's see if he can keep it all together. You've got Slater on a lap time, Legend on the lap time, as well as Ollie. As the checker flag came out quite a while ago, Leon makes his way towards that start-finish line. Where can he put himself on the grid then? It's provisional pole for Leon in the Williams. Legend comes across the line, and he can't improve. How about Flavel coming out to the final corner now? Can he put himself on provisional pole position? Yes, he can. A 120.1 from the McLaren driver. Slater making his way. He's backed off a lap here. You've got Alex, who's on a flying lap as well. No, Danestar's not on a flying lap, so nothing doing from him. So the only driver left to set a lap time on the board, or at least a flying lap, is Alex then in the Haas. And he's backed out of it now completely, so he will not be able to set a lap time. So that is the first qualifying session over for the brand new season, and it is a McLaren on pole position. In fact, it's Flavel on pole position then. It will be Leon in 2nd, Fletcher in 3rd, Westy 4th, with Coleman in 5th. McLaren 1-3 with a Williams separating them. What year is this?
About 1990, is it? Something I don't know.
Round about that, I'll give you that one. Yeah, I'm going to say, yeah, around about the early 90s. That sounds about quite right. But yeah, Flavel then turning back the clock and putting a McLaren on pole position. Meanwhile, Jamie, your fan favourite, Danestar, down in 15th place. Not a great day for him so far. But of course, qualifying, as I always say, is only a quarter of the story.
No, exactly. Yeah, I've seen Mercedes team up. Too happy with that. You've seen Mercedes at the back, so there's a bit of AI tomfoolery here as well as see in the qualifying. But yeah, you have to say, Ollie, he wanted to prove a point, and you say he's doing it so far, pole position. But the race, it's a different matter now. And you know, Leon's going to be focusing on the race pace, so will we see Leon take advantage as the tyres wear out during the race?
Well, Flavel then on pole position for the first round of a brand new season, and that is going to make McLaren delighted with that performance there. A 120.1 from Ollie there, and that's a great lap time. In 2nd, it is Leon then in the Williams. Fletcher in 3rd, Westy 4th, Coleman in 5th with Legend in 6th place. Unknown in 7th, Cooper in 8th, Asahina in 9th, and Slater rounds out the top 10. It's Praga in 11th, Raikkonen in 12th, Albrecht in 13th, Alex in 14th, and Danestar there in 15th. And JB wanted to have a go in the Mercedes, but we all told him no.
No, I got kicked out. I was I'm about 2 tiers too high for myself anyway. But yeah, hopefully that car should vanish in the formation. That hopefully.
Well, Toto himself said, "Get out of my car."
Yeah.
Oh well,
it's
first race of the season, nerves. It's all going to happen to everybody. Anyway, if you've just joined us from the Precision Tier, welcome to the Pinnacle Tier. We're looking at Flavel on pole position with Leon in second. Quite the turnaround from Flavel compared to last time out in the pre-season race. That's fair to say, isn't it?
Yeah, I see. But the practicing, you have to say. You have to say he's looking good in that McLaren team. Fletcher, we know Fletcher, he didn't have the best of races last week either, but them two have got really good raw pace. And can Fletcher get the jump on Lee at the start and control this race in McLaren?
All will be revealed after this formation lap. And the first formation lap of the season, obviously, you've got those nerves building, and I suppose those nerves at some point never go away, Jamie.
No, exactly, obviously. The formation lap doesn't help either because you're going really slowly and trying to build heated tyres and formation lap. Hopefully these guys keep killing formation lap as they've been told to, so we'll go ahead and I'll let you run through the race.
Well, Flavel then will start the race from pole position. Turn 1 is going to be a little bit tricky. It's a braking zone, but obviously the slower speed you have from the start-finish line off the grid at least is going to make it a little bit packed. The first major braking zone now down towards turn 3. This is the first major overtaking point on the circuit as we see now. DRS helping you all the way to turn 3. 3 DRS zones, only 2 detection points, I should say. There's 1 detection point just before the sector line going into turn 11. Then there's a detection point just on the entrance of turn 14. The detection point at turn 14 gets you the DRS down the start-finish straight, and then you get another helping of DRS to either catch the car ahead towards turn 3, or if you've made the move sticking to turn 1, try and get away on towards the braking zone of turn 3. But of course, we are sponsored tonight, and that's Jamie's role. Jamie, who are we sponsored by?
Yeah, Next Ever Racing, our sponsors last season, for this season, and they've upped the ante this season, as all 4 of our driver champions across all 4 tiers, they will receive a very special prize of a wheel stand through the postage paid for, and obviously if you want one, you either win the championship or you can buy one on the website, and there's a link in the description, and you put in the code 1HUB10, you'll get a nice 10% discount.
Yeah, I'd love to see a wheel stand come through my letterbox at some point. However, for one of these drivers, that's actually going to happen, as Flavel is going to try and make sure it's him. He's been pretty vocal about being put into the Pinnacle Tier. Now he's got to put the money where the mouth is out here on the track. And taking pole position is a quarter of the story, as I always say. However, you see here the cars making their way back to the grid. We're moments away here from opening a brand new season of the Pinnacle Tier here in One Hub Racing. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss a round of the Pinnacle Tier. I'm not biased, Pinnacle Tier is best. I'm back for it. It's my tier. It's always been my tier. We now have... We now have 29 laps ahead of us here in the opening round of One Hub Racing here in the Pinnacle Tier. And we're just waiting now for those 5 red lights to be upon us for what will be the first round of the season here at Albert Park. It seems like an age for the lights to signal the start of the race. But here we are now with 5 red lights. Round 1 is underway, and one of the starts, like Leon hasn't got a great start then, but look at this Slater in the background. They're getting a fantastic start. It's 4 wide as we head now down towards turn 1. They all seem to iron out the issues there through turn 1. No, they haven't. There's yellow flags in the background, and that's Praga and Alex involved there. Praga and Alex losing front wings there. So that's not good news for them at all. And a virtual safety car's been deployed after that first lap there. We've reached 4 corners and already we've triggered the virtual safety car. Leon, though, didn't get a great start as he headed down towards turn 1. A lot of wheel spin for the Williams there. However, he was able to recover. Fletcher, though, goes down to 4th place. Westy got the move done. Coleman in 5th. Asahina up to 6th, with Legend going down to 7th. Looks like we're almost ready to go racing once again as the turn 1 incident is cleared up. Of course, the virtual safety car. All the cars have to stick to a delta. Bert Mylander doesn't go out on the track for this time around. However, you can see there the top 4 really eager to get this one underway. You can see Flavel there turn up the ERS. We must be going green flag racing at some point, then heading now through turn 12 as Ollie takes out the camera marker there. I really wanted to use that one, but now I can't. Anyway, Leon here right on the back of Flavel here in the McLaren as we make our way now down towards turn 13. And I have to say, this virtual safety car has gone on for quite a while, actually, longer than I was expecting. As soon as I say that, we're back. Green flag racing again. It seems to have caught Leon out, though. 0.6 of a second down now. And, of course, if it happens midway through the corner, there's 2 cars here battling without a front wing either side. They're still battling away for it. Albrecht is off in the gravel trap there. And the 2 front wingless drivers still battling out then as they make their way down towards the pit lane. First lap is over of a new season, and it is Flavel who leads then. Leon 2nd, Westy 3rd, Fletcher 4th, with Coleman 5th, Asahina 6th, Legend 7th, Unknown 8th, Slater 9th, Albrecht in 10th apparently. Cooper in 11th, Dainstar 12th, Reichen in 13th, Jamie's apparently still out there in 14th, but Praga and Alex 15th and 16th, they're both in the pit lane. Jamie, chaotic start, what did you make of it?
Oh, sorry, I missed most of that. Yeah, I was on the wrong view, but yeah, I only presume that the Haas and the Williams just tanked together, and obviously the front wing damage. And look how much time they've lost. They've lost almost half a second, so their race is effectively over.
Oh, Fletcher trying to move down to turn 9. He's spun himself around. The gap was always closing, and Fletcher finds himself all the way down the order. A little bit of loss of back end as well as he tries to rejoin the track. Well, that's a mountain of time he's lost now. He's now down to 13th place, and Slater's trying to make the best of a bad situation there. That spin has now helped him, but Albrecht is in trouble, is he? No, he's not. Coleman is around then. Where is he? Oh, he's at turn 12. Exeter there. And not a great day for the Ferrari man at all. It's been a bit hectic start here in Pinnacle Tier. And Albert Park always throws that spanner into the works. We've got Asahina, who's now up to 5th place. Slater up to 6th. Legend, after all of that, is up to 4th place now. But he's 3.8 seconds behind Westy. Ollie sets the fast start for the race, 1:24.7. No surprise there as he is leading the race by 1.4 seconds now. We've got Unknown here, watching Fletcher and Raikkonen battle it down towards turn 1. Fletcher's got the move done and takes away 10th place. He's obviously got to recover after that spin he had, but he's now back up into the points as we see now Unknown making his way now down towards the next corner. He'll try and move up the inside of turn 3. Door quickly slams shut there as he has to back out of that one. But at the moment then, Flavel still leads. We've also got Slater still trying to put that pressure on Asahina ahead of him. Dainstar, meanwhile, up to 9th place. Great start from him so far, considering so far he's had to do a recovery drive. Yellow flags in sector 3 right about now. Not sure who that is. And Albrecht here for me, I think he's desync from the rest of the field here. Currently in 8th place. I'm not sure if the drivers can actually see him out there.
No, well, I'll let you into your season 12.
Alex is out.
Yeah, I think he's had enough. It's last season 12, Dainstar and Albrecht, they're racing the Podium Tier. These are an epic battle for the win. And what happened, these two fought so hard to let Gazzaman through to win. So these guys have previous. Obviously, I don't know if they can see each other, but yeah, Jonas does look a bit. I wouldn't want to be behind him, that's for sure.
Raikkonen Unknown battling down towards turn 15 now, getting very close and side by side through turn 13. Aggressive but fair play so far through the final corner and on towards the start finish straight. DRS great active as look at this, Unknown gets a great exit down towards turn 1. We've also got moves happening up ahead there down towards turn 1, but the Renault of Unknown makes his way up towards 11th place. Meanwhile then, we've got a battle developing between Dainstar and Albrecht here. Dainstar making the move stick then. Fletcher will try and follow his way through down towards turn 3 here, and he gets the move done. Albrecht leaves the door open and is punished for it. Fletcher moves up another place, and I think Dainstar and Fletcher might think to work together here. They're both quick drivers. They're both trying to make their way through the field. Surely the idea here will be to work together, even though they're on different teams.
Yeah, this Legend, he's the cork and bottle. He's 4.4 seconds down the top 3, and I feel like these guys, if they get past, they'll be able to pull away a second lap. So obviously, it's going to be difficult. What Ashley has to do is get really good exit out of turn 12, and he should have a chance into 13. He's got a good exit there. He's got a chance, but it's quite a tight corner. You've got to be brave to think about it. He thinks about it, but no, just too much, too little, too late. Cooper Slater fighting for 6th place.
Dainstar trying to now go up the inside. Turn 14 gets the move done. Cooper trying to move on Slater down towards turn 13. He was on the outside, got a compromised line, and Dainstar took full advantage. One's a little bit wide though into the final corner. A little bit of understeer here, but he won't care. He's now up to 7th place. It's been a really good start for Dainstar, up to 7th place now, and a really good recovery drive from him so far. Westy, meanwhile, trying to close down on Leon as they head now down towards turn 3. Lap 5 of this Grand Prix here, and Dainstar trying to close in on Slater. Slater takes the inside line into turn 3. Meanwhile, Fletcher's got past Cooper then through turn 3. Fletcher is on a mission as well. After that earlier spin, he's got to try and recover he might, as he now moves up to 8th place ahead of Cooper.
Cooper's like a sieve at the moment. He keeps losing places. He's just not in the right rhythm at the moment. He had the chance 6th place. Now he's down to 9th. It just shows you they'll get the move done. These guys behind, they're not afraid to. Not afraid to. As Dainstar's got a good chance here. James Slater, but he has to get a bit twitchy there. I think it might be compromised, but he's got to stay close here in the 11-12. Not too close though, because he might touch the rear. Backs off. He should get a good exit down to 12. Hit down to 13 here, and this is a great opportunity for Dainstar. For 6th place from the back of the grid. You have to say his race pace is impressive so far, and he gets the move done there.
Great move from Dainstar there, timed that to perfection, really good exit of turn 12, and that's all he needed then to try and grab that position. Raikkonen retires from the race then, so he is now out, and maybe that lack of experience has cost him in the end. It becomes a second retirement of the race. Meanwhile, Westy really closing in to the back of Leon there, as you've got Slater, an unknown, into the pits. Maybe they are expecting some sort of safety car, hasn't come yet. But Westy here still trying to put the pressure on Leon. Leon really fast there, down towards turn 3. Slippery is the right word to use there. Really sticking behind the back of that Williams ahead of him. Dainstar still applying pressure to Asahina in the Renault there as they now make their way through turn 5. The important thing about this, Dainstar has to remember, is he gets a load of dirty air through that fast right-hander at turn 5. Then on the entry into turn 6 through 7 and 8 again, and get hit with that dirty air. As long as he remembers that though, he's got a good run now down towards turn 9. Will he try a move? He will. He'll go to the left-hand side, but then backs out of it. Asahina tries to take the apex there, runs a little bit wide. Oh, he's going to get a little bit squeezed there, but Dainstar didn't help himself. He lost the back end there. There was space in the end to go round the outside, surely not the inside at turn 12. He's going to go for it. Oh, backs out of it. Sorry, through turn 11. That will then... Oh, there's a back grab. That's Cooper trying to get my words out there. He's lost the back end completely at turn 12. Now he retires instantly from the race. And also Westy's around at turn 13. Westy from, well, that was 3rd place. He's lost the back end completely. And now he's all the way down the order. Dainstar's... But Dainstar's now trying to run side by side as they head round the final corner. There was a little bit of contact there from Dainstar. They're going to come together. They're going to spin each other around. Both cars into the wall. And they've cost themselves there. Dainstar's out. Fletcher with no front wing now. What on earth happened there?
Well, I think Fletcher should have backed out there. He took fighting on the outside of the corner. He just let the car go, and obviously Fletcher's left, so we're running out of drivers now. So the attrition is running high as we thought.
Well, that's a move from Coleman round the outside of turn 14. Really good move there. Put the faith in Praga and gets the move done. In fact, they're going to move up to 11th and 12th now after that recent retirement. Yeah, well, there could be points in this by staying in this one. But Leon leads then. And what that means then, that's really shuffled up the pack, because now Leon leads from Legend. And through all that drama, Ollie has actually been into the pits. He's now rejoining a set of hard tyres and now running in 5th place. Meanwhile, Slater moves ahead now. Of course, Fletcher becomes a ghost car, so all the cars now will surely go by him sooner rather than later. And, well, we'll see there what can happen in the rest of the race then. Lap 7 of this Grand Prix. Leon leads at the moment, Legend 2nd and Asahina in 3rd.
I've tried to try my car, but it won't really take control, so my car's the rest of the race, I'm afraid. So as Leon pits, he's going to cover off Ollie here.
Yeah, he has to. This is the response then that the Williams crew have to do. Ignore Jamie's car there. All the cars, I'm sure, will move up a position after this race has ended. Hard tyres going on, aren't they? Yes, they are. Hard tyres onto the Williams. Normally quick in real life with the pit stops. There goes Ollie, though, past the pit lane. And, yeah, he will retake the net lead of the race. And there is Leon then rejoining in 5th place. and he will be able to be comfortably ahead of, well, well, he's comfortably ahead of Jamie. That's a word I never thought I'd say in the Pinnacle Tier this season, but there you go.
No. Yeah, exactly. It's not what you expect, but yeah. Fletcher's in now. Obviously, he's got a player's heavily damaged car, but he's out of the race, isn't he? So
he is out of the race, yes. Well, yeah, I mean, he's out of the race. He's still running as a ghost car, but we could see. I mean, Asahina last week in the pre-season race. Well, he left the session. He didn't retire as Praga gets deep there into turn 13, caught the grass on entry. Of course, that prevents you from slowing the car down, so kept it on the track in the end, but it's cost him a lot of time. West is trying to close in behind him now. What Asahina did last time around, though, was he left the session because he wasn't having a great race, late safety car towards the end of the race, and then he rejoined because he knew there was a safety car and he might have a chance. So maybe if Fletcher's still around, he'll try the old Asahina trick there.
Yeah, there's one point won't even enough cars left to have a safety car at this rate. Legend and Asciano in the pits, so that'll promote Ollie to second and Leon to third.
Wesley putting the pressure on Praga, then he will have DRS as well. He goes to the right hand side, and that is the Williams of Praga, leaving him plenty of room as they head now down towards turn 13. And that is Wesley back up into the points after his earlier spin. Lap 9 of this race then, it is Ulbrich now who's leading, but he is yet to stop. What that means is it's Ollie in second, Leon in third, Legend there in fourth place, with that is Slater who will be in fifth place, Unknown in sixth, Asahina in seventh, Coleman eighth, Westy in ninth, and Praga into the pits from 10th place, and Fletcher running around as a ghost car. So actually we only have 10 runners in this race at the moment, Jamie, so get to the end and you've got yourself some points to open your account for the season.
You know, so that means our new rules redundant, where if you finish outside the top 10 set of fastest lap you get a point. That rule's redundant now, so everybody, as long as they stay on track, they'll get a point. So nobody else, you're in a point position, everybody else, so don't do anything stupid. Please.
Absolutely. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Ulbrich then will be surely pitting in this lap to go onto a set of hard tyres. Let us know if you're enjoying the stream tonight, and if you are, great stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you're notified every time we go live. Meanwhile, that looks like a bit of team orders between the Ferraris then. So Westy now back up to 8th place as he now makes his way through in towards turn 12 and 13. That is Slater then moving from 5th to 5th as he overtakes Jamie out on track. Jamie, you're causing trouble out there and you're up in the commentary box.
I'm a bit worried. My car doesn't look like it's ghosting, so I hope nobody into the back of it. But yeah, Colo's on the medium, so he has to pit again. So that's a wise decision from the Ferrari driver. So Westy's going to the end, so Colo is on 2s off. Maybe he fancies a fast lap at the end. Obviously, you get a point for that. So yeah, I think that's his strategy now.
I think so, it has to be now, but Leon picked himself up a 3-second time penalty here on the 10th lap of this race. So that's going to come back to bite him at the end of this race. I wonder, with Ulbrich here, he's really costing himself at the moment. The longer he stays out on those soft tyres, the more time he loses onto his second stint. However, his second stint of tyres will be much less worn than the other drivers around him. So it's, well, it's 50-50 on that one. He's lost it at turn 11 and onto the gravel. That could be the tyres giving up completely there. The rear end just completely snapped on him, manages to keep it facing the right way, so great car control in that sense. But yeah, I think that's the time, and he moves out of the way of the Williams as well. Yeah, so I think that's the time now for him to come into the pit lane. Those rear tyres look like they're shot.
Yeah, I think they overheated there. He just, on the traction zone of 11 and 12, he just lost it. Yeah, and he was pitting off the hard tyres, and you drop quite a long way down the order. That mistake was very costly. He lost the, he's staying out.
That's a weird one for me. I don't think he should be staying out on those tyres. However, he will be at this rate. But Unknown here is actually closing in on Slater ahead of him. That's the battle for 5th place. So Unknown will be closing in with the DRS. So he's in that zone down towards turn 1. He's got his teammate Asahina in the background, looking to try and close in on the battle. Make sure he tries to get as close as he can to try and gain an advantage with that DRS. You never know, if these two cars start battling, Asahina will be given a little bit of a lifeline to try and catch up to this battle for 5th place. But lap 11 of this race, and the man from Jersey, Flavel, is winning the race right now. Leon in 2nd, Ulbrich in 3rd, but yet to stop in this race. Legend in 4th, Slater 5th, Unknown 6th, Asahina in 7th, Westy is 8th, Coleman 9th, Praga in 10th right now. fair to say these first 11 laps of a new season have been pretty eventful, Jamie.
Yeah, we've lost 5 cars, haven't we? And there was a lot of incidents early on. I think a lot of guys were a bit rash with their racing, I think, and I think the stewards, they'll be getting involved for sure. I think that Danestar Fletcher incident will for sure be going to the stewards, so we'll see what their views on that.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the views on that. Of course, I believe the stewards' results are out on Monday. Let's focus on Unknown then, who's trying to chase down Slater down towards turn 13. Gap was never there, so he never went for it. Now on towards the final couple of corners of the track, then through turn 14 and towards 15 and 16 here. So both drivers on the hard tyres looking to try and make them go to the end. And finally, Albrecht pits in. Unknown getting a little bit tail happy out of turn 15 there. Flavel picks up a 3-second time penalty. And Unknown there just has a little bit of a messy final couple of corners, but he's got the DRS to help him down towards turn 1. Yeah, and he'll have another dose of DRS down towards turn 3, right on the slipstream this time around. Let's see if he can keep it as clean and tidy. He can, and look at the overspeed now. Moves to the right-hand side, down towards turn 3, up the inside he goes, and he will try and take that corner, and then he moves ahead now. So Unknown up to 4th place in the Renault, Slater down to 5th place, but that battle is far from over, I would say.
Yeah, he just got the superior in out of turn 2 there, and I just slingshot into turn 3, and I expect to pull away now. I think he's the quicker driver, but if Slater can stay in the DRS, he might be able to hang on, and maybe they can let Legends 3.6 second road, so can Unknown catch him and get the podium. He's got a bit twitchy in the 8 and 9 there, so maybe he should have a little bit at the moment, but maybe Slater's got a great chance here at the switch back here into turn 13, but doesn't get a great exit.
No, he was quite conservative through 11 and 12 there, try and focus on the exit, but it's cost him quite a bit of time right now. One thing to say though is that Albrecht has actually rejoined on a set of medium tyres, not the hards, so he's trying to go aggressive with this strategy to see if he can make it work, but those tyres are going to be teetering on the edge of puncture territory towards the end of this race.
A long way to go. I think that's quite an ambitious strategy, so yeah, see it works out for him though, and obviously it'd be quick early on, but I think he might have to manage them tyres a little bit, and he's got the 2 Ferraris just ahead, so he should be able to pass them, but yeah, as you say, it'd be about what else can he get out of this race, and I wouldn't be surprised if coming in late, go for fastest lap with that strategy. The tyres completely die off.
Well, either that or a safety car. That leaves him in a good safety car window towards the end of this race to put on a new set of tyres and try and get that fast. So that the only problem is that some people might have the exact same idea. But we'll have to see as we come towards halfway through this race. We have 17 laps to go here, and Flavel, the man from Jersey, still leads this one from Leon and Legend. The top 3 then pretty spaced out at the moment. Closest battle is this battle for 4th place you're watching right now between Unknown and Slater. Renault versus Red Bull. We have lost during this race Alex, Raikkonen, Cooper, Danestar and Fletcher. With Jamie there. Well, he's in the commentary box. Oh, that's Unknown around! At turn 12, he's out of the race! Dropped it completely! Dropped it completely and clipped the curb. That's exactly what we were talking about in qualifying, clipping that curb, and it can really send you into stall. That's exactly what's happened to Unknown, and all that battling, all that moving up the field has eventually come to nothing for the Renault driver. He's out of the Australian Grand Prix.
Yeah, just a complete lapse of concentration there. Just got on that curb a little bit too much. You just sent it around into a spin, into that wall, and once you're in that spin, nothing you can do. It's just you're in the hands of the gods there. Whether you get wing damage or what Unknown had there, just complete loss of wheel. So unlucky for him, but he showed good pace, I have to say. So maybe you can take a bit of heart into that, but he threw away a great result there.
I think so. That's the best way you could put it there. Well, Albrecht here is trying to close in on Coleman up ahead. 2 Ferraris though, who were quite high up in qualifying. Obviously, he had Westy with his spin at turn 13 a few laps ago. That's really cost him in terms of a good race performance today. Currently 6th place, 9.2 seconds behind Asahina. What started out as a pretty promising race for him has turned into a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, he's 29 seconds off the lead, so he would definitely be in 3rd place, I think, without that. So yeah, he can still recover though. I mean, 6th place isn't a disaster, but you have to say, yeah, it's unfortunate what happened to him. But, that helps Legend though. That gets a bit more comfortable in podium place. Now 5 seconds ahead of. Got a bit of breathing space at the moment. Will anybody be able to come back to him later on though?
Simon in the chat says, is this some sort of new commentating, driving the race and in the box at the same time? Simon's impressed, apparently, Jamie, with your talent. It's endless.
Oh no, I'm definitely retired, yeah. Definitely.
There was a glimpse there. He thought about returning, but no, he's firmly stuck in the commentary box with me. I'm sure he'd wanted to go out on the track after spending last week with me. However, no, he's back in the commentary box. Lap 15 of this race then, just about halfway through this one. Flavel leads with Leon in second, Legend in third, Slater fourth, Asahina fifth, Westy sixth, Coleman seventh, Albrecht in eighth, and Praga in ninth. So 9 runners in this race, Jamie. You said at the start Australia is one of those ones who's going to claim a couple of drivers. You weren't wrong at all.
No, definitely not. And yeah, there's such a race you got to stay in there, hang in there, and you get places as regards making mistakes. There's, it was Prague, obviously, he had that damage early on and he thought his race was over. But now he's going to get some points, which is it's always nice to have some points on your name coming out of round one, because a bit of a monkey off the back.
Yeah, Praga here, who showed some promising pace in pre-season, sort of a little bit off the pace. Maybe today hasn't gone quite to plan. It's been that way for a couple of drivers this race, but with Bahrain next time around, lots of drivers, I'm thinking unknown, Danestar, Cooper, Raikkonen, Alex, Fletcher as well. They're all going to come back and they're all going to be pretty determined to try and get a better result than this time around. You've got Albrecht also closing in on Coleman, but the important thing is, as you keep saying, Jamie, stay in this race. You've got a good chance of really scoring some really good points.
Yeah, well, Colo will have to pit again. He's not going to get him past the end, and Albrecht is a question mark there, but it's just not that DRS range. It's frustratingly for him, but another good lap here, he'll be in that DRS range. I think Colo's tired, starting to go off now.
It could be with 13 laps. I don't know, actually. I think they're just about still in range, still in optimum range right now. I'd see them lasting for a good 3 or 4 more laps. Maybe even 5 if he's really conservative with those tyres. But yeah, let us know in the comments how's your favourite driver getting along. Who is your favourite driver? Who are you backing for the race win? Ollie at the moment is leading the way, 2.5 seconds in the lead from Leon ahead of him. Legend in third with Slater there in fourth place. A lot of these drivers who we said, you know what, let's keep an eye on them. I think we've rather cursed some of these drivers out there. I'm thinking the likes of, Danestar, who you said was a fan favourite. The Williams having the pace, but Prague is down in 9th place right now. Of course, one race doesn't define your whole season, but I think Prague would have wanted to get off to a better start, as would the Ferraris as well. They've had a bit of a nightmare this race.
Yeah, they're qualified high up, but they just got one instance, obviously, Westy's spin and Colo's big crash. But yeah, it's interesting, Leon is starting to close the gap a little bit on Ollie. Obviously, still 2.6 seconds, so comfortable for the Jersey driver, but Leon starting to put the hammer down, I think.
Well, Leon will be really focused on trying to get that move done. Meanwhile, Albrecht right now is into the DRS zone, and speaking of the devil, Coleman is into the pits then for what could be, and probably should be, he's got a 5-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane. Well, to be honest with you, that's not going to be the end of his days, but he rejoins now. He's going to join onto a set of soft tyres, so he has to do 13 laps on those tyres right now. We've got yellow flags in sector 2, and is that Leon in trouble?
Leon.
It is!
Leon, yeah, he's spun it, yeah.
Yeah, Leon's had a bit of a moment. Maybe I think that's out of turn 8. Well, the Williams driver now down to 3rd place. Well, that is not good whatsoever, as Jamie has left the party. That's not a good sign right now. So I'm on my own right now as we're riding aboard with Leon, making his way through turns 11 and then through turn 12. It's going to be a little bit difficult for Jamie to rejoin the party. It is his party though, so he should be alright getting back in. Let's hope he's alright getting back in. Anyway, lap 17 of this race then. And Flavel, well, he'll have that relief off his shoulders right now. He'll be very comfortable in the lead of this one. 13.3 is the gap now. Legend would have got the shock of his lifetime. Now up to 2nd place, but he'll have Leon breathing down his neck, determined more than ever to try and get that place back. And Coleman as well, rejoining on a set of soft tyres. 13 laps he's got to do on those soft tyres. That is a huge ask, but he's rejoined behind Praga. I wonder if he will get those tyres to the end of this race. Make sure if you're watching as well that you make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell as well. Make sure you're notified every time One Hub goes live. I hope you've enjoyed the other 2 races as well. You've got Podium and Pinnacle. You will also have Prestige later on tonight. So make sure you're tuned in for that one as well. Obviously, not before the end of this race. That would be rude. Coleman really closing in on the back of Praga right now. DRS wide open as he makes his way now down towards turn 1. Closing and closing very much so down towards turn 1 in that slipstream. Nothing doing for him so far, but then again it's now down towards turn 3, and look at this on those soft tyres, a much better exit for Coleman. It's side by side then as they head down towards turn 3. Coleman has to be around the outside for this one. Praga's not going to give up on that one too soon, but Coleman around the outside gets the move done, and up to 8th place he goes. I mean, I really want Jamie to join back, but I don't want to press the PS button because there's battles out on track and I've got to prioritise those first. He's invited me to another party. I can see that I don't know what to do. I'm going to focus on this battle between Legend and Leon though, because that gap's now down to 1.8 seconds. And, well, whilst we didn't pick up what happened on the stream to Leon, we can guess what happened. I'm going to guess it was somewhere between turns 6 and 8. He lost the back end because he was on his own there. But he'll be chasing down that racing point ahead. 1.8 is the gap so far with 11 laps to go. And Flavel still leads this one by 13.5 seconds. Well, he's been very public and very vocal about being placed in the Pinnacle Tier, wanted the Prestige Tier. And I think this is a marker to lay down. 13.3 seconds. And yeah, I know, Jamie, I want to invite you back, but it's just a blue screen and I don't see what's going on. So I don't know. Jamie, try and join back to this party. It is your party. That shouldn't be a problem. Coleman sets the fastest lap of this race then. 1:23.5. Really going for that fastest lap right now. In terms of fastest laps then, well, let's have a look, shall we? In terms of fastest lap, we have got Coleman now down into the 1:23s, 1:23.5, of course, on those soft tyres. But there might be other drivers like Praga. Maybe Albrecht might fancy his chances. Let's have a look at some gaps as well. Wesley, maybe. Could be a maybe there, but Coleman could try another set of soft tyres as well. Asahina picks up a 3-second time penalty there. So lap 20 then is underway. Well underway, in fact. As we have Flavel leading the way. I was trying to actually scroll through the drivers and then I didn't realise I was actually scrolling through the timing screens. So that was good. Leon 1.6 though behind Legend. He's closing very slowly. That's Slater in the background as well, 6 seconds back. Now through turn 2 and on the way towards turn 3. 1.5 seconds. That gap is slowly coming down towards turn 3. And again, really closing onto this one now through turn 4. So 10 laps to go here in Australia as we wind down the first race of the season. Let us know in the comments, who do you think is going to come out on top, and why do you think it's Ollie? What gives that one away? No, it's not over till it's over. It's not over till Ollie gets it to the checkered flag. But he's looking pretty comfortable out there. But we've seen drivers lose it from comfortable positions. We saw Westy from 3rd place spin out at turn 13. We've also, had the yellow flags from Leon spinning between turns 6 and 8. So it's not over till it's over. You've got to keep your concentration levels all the way up. We've also seen Unknown from 4th place retire from the race after spinning at turn 12. So nothing is guaranteed right now. But Leon, one thing is guaranteed, is that he is closing in. I've just contradicted myself, but shush. But Leon now making his way towards the penultimate corner, then through the final corner, and really closing up now. It's going to be so frustrating now with that DRS. It's just out of range. But he will have a distant tow down towards turn 1. We'll see how this battle develops between the two of them. Of course, Ollie right now leading this way, still by 13.5 seconds. So the gap between Flavel and Legend has actually levelled off to 13.5 seconds right now. Maybe Ollie's just thinking, you know what, it's time to just conserve the car a little bit, maybe save some fuel towards the end of this race. I don't think he was expecting to have such a big lead in this one. Leon 1.2 seconds still as we head through turn 5 and on the way towards turn 6, 7 and 8. Caught out Leon a few laps ago. This time though he looks more in control, and trust me, I've done many a career mode race around Australia. I know how frustrating this track is. Leon 1.2 seconds still the gap. Westy also closing in on Asahina. That gap is 1.5 seconds. The battle for 5th place right now. We've already lost one Renault in this race. Just one of them running right now. And for the Ferraris, it could have been a much better day for them. However, They're just focused now on getting those cars to the end of the race. That's the important thing. Get some points on the board. There's no harm in that whatsoever as Leon makes his way now down towards turn 13, on towards turn 14. You can see 1.2. It is agonising for Leon right now, but he's closing on that gap bit by bit. Bit by bit, tenth by tenth. He's reducing that gap. Now coming through the final corner, still not in DRS range. A little bit of oversteer through the final corner there. Managed to gather the car up. Now coming down the long straight then, down towards turn 1. You've got there, that is Slater in the background, now 8 seconds back, so he is dropping off of the pace here. Westy even more frustratedly out of the DRS zone. Only a second now between himself and Asahina. Look at Asahina trying to break the slipstream. He knows it's that powerful down towards turn 1 that he's willing to break it very, very early on. But Leon here still just over a second off the pace. I shouldn't say off the pace, but off the car ahead is what I meant. And now he's finally down below a second. And so is Westy as well. Ahead of him is Asahina as they make their way through turn 5. Leon here through turn 9, then through turn 10. Looks like he's going to have the DRS then. Down towards turn 13. For now, he's going to try and tackle 11 and 12. And make sure he's not in the dirty air. There's the DRS line. Just past it. Leon now really attacking that curve. Legend looks like he got a bit of oversteer through turn 12. That won't have helped his exit. And now you can see Leon now closing in much more, especially down towards turn 13 with the help of that DRS through 14 and then through 15 and 16. Let's see then Leon trying to close this gap. Lap 23 of 29. Round the final corner, and Leon now is really, really close to the back of that racing point right now. He won't have a go down towards turn 1 surely, but down towards turn 3 is surely where he's going to have this battle now. Legend trying to hold on to this one, trying to take and perfect that line through turns 1 and 2. DRS open for Leon. Which way will Legend go? Which way will Leon go? But Leon doesn't try the move down the inside. He waits and holds on for a lap. Meanwhile, Westy, it's his turn now to try and attack Asahina through turn 3 now. Asahina not getting a great exit out of turn 2, and that could cost him. Westy goes to the left-hand side. He'll have to go round the outside in towards turn 3. Was there contact between the two of them? I wonder there. Wasn't a great angle from the way I saw it, but either way, Westy off the track at turn 3. That's all I can tell you right now. Leon once again on the back of Legend, as we see now through the DRS. Let's see what he can do with turns 11 and 12 this time around. Right in the slipstream, down to 5th gear to compensate for that dirty air and the tyres as well. Much better run through turn 12 this time around. This could be a move down towards turn 13. Will Leon go for it? He might do. He thought about it, then backed out of it, but pushing Legend under that pressure. And now heading his way through turn 14, on towards 15 and 16. Once again, frustrating for Leon. He wants to get that move done. And Legend, as Jamie says in the chat there, really under pressure, but a little bit of a mistake then from Leon through turn 16. A little bit of oversteer, had to correct the car there, so that will not help him whatsoever. But once again, down towards turns 1 and 2, and then on towards turn 3, once again in the slipstream, around about the same distance he was exactly 1 lap ago. Will he try and move? I think he's a little bit too far back, even for Leon's liking. He won't want to try and move like that. He won't want to throw away what is right now a really good 3rd place. Legend here still, even though this battle's going on, 13.5 seconds still between Flavel and Legend. I think Flavel here is just taking it easy out there, just coasting home. But obviously, we've seen people coast home before. We've seen Senna at Monaco try and, well, attack. He didn't need to, and lost the car completely. And also, if you get off the throttle pedal, if you take it easy, you open yourself up to complacency, and that's when mistakes can come in. So all he has to do now is try and keep that pace to the end of the race, stay on it for the rest of it. Meanwhile, Leon, again, getting a little bit tail happy through turn 12, cutting that curve doesn't help as he makes his way towards turn 13, and once again has to stay behind this Racing Point car. Legend is just doing a really good job of keeping his lines and keeping good control of that car as we make our way now in towards 15, then towards turn 16. Let's see what Leon can do now. Much better run through 16 this time around. He's much closer as well with the DRS wide open, and he'll be much closer as well, more importantly, towards turn 3. Got to get this braking zone right though. As you can see, two different lines heading through. Leon much more aggressive with the curve in towards turn 1. Here we go then in the slipstream down towards turn 3. Leon going to go for it up the inside, is he? Legend leaves him the room. He'll have the outside line and then the inside for turn 4. Leon will try a little bit of a cutback. Legend doesn't get a great exit out of 4. Then through turn 5. Leon's going to be careful with that dirty air and worn tyres as well as we head away up towards turn 6. Leon has to back out of it. No real overtaking opportunity through 6 there. As Legend tries to hold on through 7 and then through turn 8, then on the way and on the braking zone towards turn 9. Leon trying to fill that Racing Point mirror with the white of the Rexona Williams. Oh, Leon losing the back end there through turn 10. Not ideal whatsoever. He's already had a moment through turn 6 and 8. And that's a little bit of a moment then. That could be, these moments could be what costs Leon a chance to really try and get that second place. Legend is just driving his own race right now. He's minding his own business and letting Leon do all the work. And right now, it's working to a T as they make their way now in towards 13. Now on the run towards turn 14 and through the final corners of 15 and 16. Westy and Asahina have rejoined battles once again as we make our way now down towards turn 13. Asahina defending the inside line, no way through from him just yet. Leon meanwhile with the DRS down the start finish straight in that slipstream once again, heading down towards turn 1. Won't try the move into turn 1 as usual. Again aggressive into turn 1 as was Legend this time around. As Leon there with that dirty air, you can see the lack of downforce he had, especially with the rear of the car. Leon then once again having to stay behind the Racing Point car. Westy meanwhile closing in on the back of the Renault of Asahina with only 4 laps to go. Asahina through turn 2 and on the run towards turn 3 is going to be, well, with the DRS here. Westy has another try. He'll try and go around the outside again at turn 3, but I think he learned his lesson this time. Asahina's not going to give him the room as he makes his way through turn 4. There have to be other ways he can try and get past. Leon still right on the gearbox of Legend of that Racing Point car. Turn 10 looks good this time around for Leon, right onto the back of Legend once again as we make our way towards 11 and 12. Now these two are battling. That gap to the leader from Legend has now gone up to 14 seconds. Leon gets a great run through turn 12. DRS wide open then in the slipstream of Legend as we make our way towards turn 13. He's up the inside this time, side by side as they head the way through turn 13. Contact between them. Legend holds on round the outside. We saw great battling with them in pre-season. Only this time it's for second place. Will we see a photo finish this time around, I wonder? Meanwhile, Westy is trying to go around the outside of Asahina, round the outside of turn 13. Asahina gives him the room this time. Bit of desync there. Asahina has the inside line. Oh, they've spun! They've spun around at turn 14! I think that was a little bit of desync more than anything. I don't think they both knew exactly where they were. But once again, Westy's caught up in an instant. Leon then down towards turn 3, up the inside of the Racing Point car. They're side by side this time. Again, Legend has the inside line through turn 4. Leon tries to stick it around the outside. He'll have the inside line for 5. Tries to stick it up the inside, Legend around the outside, and still, Legend holds on to second place. This is really great battling for second place between Legend and Leon right now. I want this all the way to the end of the race. And we saw last week, pre-season, these two photo finish at the start-finish line, with Legend winning by literally a front wing. This time around, Legend again still defending really well. Leon with the slipstream, no DRS, going around the outside of turn 12. Surely not! He's done it! What a move! On the outside of turn 11, crunch time for Leon, and he delivered. What a move from the Williams! That's surely the move of the season, and it's round 1. Stunning move from Leon. Really great battling between the two of them, and eventually Leon chanced it round the outside. Fair play to Legend, he gave him the room, but it took a whole lot of guts there for Leon to make that stick. Wow, what a move! I'm never getting over that move. That was incredible, absolutely incredible. Leon finally back up to second place, and now he'll try and have to keep his cool towards the end of this one. That was incredible. What a move. What a move. Legend's not done though. What I am going to do though before the final lap of the race starts is that I'm going to try and get Jamie into this party, because what a move that was. I need to get his views on that one, that is for sure. Let's get him back into this party and let's get him back underway. I'm going to try and find him down this long list that I have. I've not got long to try and find him. There he is. I'll invite him to the party. Let's get straight back to the action then. I want to get the views of Jamie on that one. That was a fantastic move. Praga into the pits, presumably to go for the fastest lap of the race. Legend hasn't exactly fallen behind though. Still 0.7 of a second between the two of them. But there is the man from Jersey coming around turn 14 and then through 15 and 16. Well, to be honest with you, he hasn't really been phased at all out there. He's let all the battles happen behind him, and Jamie, just before we start the final lap of the race,
God,
what a move from Leon round the outside!
Yeah, I thought he was going to get it done. He's just seeing that Legend was just defending really well. But then Leon, I think he thought he had to go for it in a totally different place, and wow, he caught him out by surprise there. And that's after he'll take a season already. I don't see how he can top that. My God, that was incredible.
That was really incredible.
Don't know how you can top that.
Well, in the meantime then, Ollie has started the final lap of the race. Of course, Jamie, we get to the end of the season. After these results, we have to then pick a driver of the day each, so that you guys can vote your driver of the day on Twitter. So we get the decision of who you get to vote for. You get the decision of who gets driver of the day. We'll discuss that after the race. Meanwhile then, Ollie has been pretty dominant in this race so far. It's been pretty much flawless drive from him so far, with only half a lap to go, down towards 11 and 12. There's that camera angle. I finally got it. I finally got that great camera angle. It only took 29 laps, but I finally got it. Ollie then making his way down towards 13 and 14. Well, this race has been dominated by the man from Jersey as Westy grabs the fastest lap of the race so far. He's making his way, Ollie, down towards the final 2 corners of this race. He's pretty vocal about being in this tier. He said he was too good for it. He set down a marker today. Ollie Flavel wins in Australia. The man from Jersey takes the first race win of the season, and it was a commanding performance too. Really good congratulations there to Ollie. Leon then is going to hold on to second place. Will he though? Because he's got penalties. At least I know that. Comes towards the line, and yes, he drops behind Legend there. So that move, although it was a great move, in the end, it meant nothing. That's a shame though, but there was great battling between the two of them. That is what we love to see. Leon got the move done, but he had that 3-second time penalty. That cost him the chance to make that move and seal it there. Slater then comes towards the line. He finishes in 4th place. Really good start for him in the Pinnacle Tier. Asahina finishes in 5th place then in the Renault. And good points for him, considering his teammate crashed out of this race. Albrecht then 6th place. Difficult race for him, but he made those medium tyres work to the end there. Coleman, the first of the Ferraris then, as he makes his way to 7th place. Westy, what a tough race it's been for him. He's been so unlucky in this race, but he will recover to get 8th place in this race at least. He does have the fastest lap of the race so far. And then Praga then will claim 9th place in this race. And so 2 points for him. And the commentator, controlled by an AI the entire race, finishes 10th. He won't count in the standings though, that's for sure. But the race winner for round number 1, and now your championship leader, it's the man from Jersey, Ollie Flavel, wins in Australia.
Yeah, to say Ollie, he had guys around him qualifying, but he was the guy that didn't make any mistakes. Everyone else around him made the mistakes, he didn't, and he fully deserved this win, and he's my driver of the day nomination.
Oh, you're getting them early, are you? Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, Flavel there takes the first race win of the season. A dominant performance from him, and he's able to enjoy that champagne. Well, a great race. It had retirements, it had dramas, it had a move around the outside of turn 11. What more could you want? We head to Bahrain next, and if it's half as exciting as that Australian Grand Prix was, which it always is, I'm really looking forward to it. But after this screen, we will of course give you our official, unofficial results here of the Australian Grand Prix. It is Ollie who wins in Australia, Legend in 2nd, Leon in 3rd with Slater 4th, Asahina in 5th with Albrecht in 6th, Coleman 7th, Westy in 8th, and Praga will finish in 9th place despite JB up there. Retirements, Fletcher, Unknown, Danestar, Cooper, Raikkonen and Alex all retired from this race. Well, Jamie's gone for Ollie as driver of the day. You know what? I'm going to go my driver of the day. I'm going to go for... Oh, who am I going to go for? It's tough. It's between Slater and Legend. I think for holding on there and that great battling, my driver of the day is going to go to Legend. It is so close between Legend and Slater. You have no idea. I've literally flipped a coin for it. But holding on to that second place, battling so hard with Leon and not picking up any penalties, that's my drive of the day. So those are your 2 drive of the days to vote for later on Twitter tonight. Make sure you're following the league so you see that vote. Make sure you follow at OneHub Racing. You can follow me whilst you're there as well. It's at KSMCGF1. And you can also follow Jamie. It's at JamieMet92. Jamie, I'm sorry I couldn't invite you back to the party earlier, but there were 2 battles going on.
Yeah, I'm watching it all the way along. Yeah, I was watching it all the way through, and it's just intense. Like, there's what happened between Westy and Ashina. That was a bit weird, that one. I'm not sure what to make of that one, but yeah, you have to see. I did it last week, Legend and Leon. I did it again this week, so them 2. Another good battle.
Really good battle. But Flavel takes the first race win of the season, and that means he grabs the first 25 points of the season. I don't think it'll matter too much that he didn't get the 26 points, but that will do it from us here at Pinnacle. Make sure you now join the Prestige tier. I think they're just getting underway now. Well, they would be round about now. Qualifying will be coming to the end, so make sure you tune in to Prestige tier. In the meantime, though, we hope you'll join us for Bahrain. Same time next week, 8:30 BST, the race will start. We start the stream at around about 8:15 with our traditional lobby walk, which we'll have perfected by then, and hopefully we'll have got all the drivers to change their voice settings in the lobby. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. We hope to see you next week. In the meantime, I've been Kieran McGinley.
I've been Jamie Metcalf.
We got there in the end. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye. Oh.